I think that the five stages of grief, it helps people contextualize what they are feeling per time. It may not necessarily be to like move from denial to anger to bargaining to depression and acceptance. Sometimes you start with anger and then move to bargaining and then maybe get into a bit of acceptance and then you're like, no, 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 that's just too much. I need to get back to denial because that feels a bit easier for me. So it can be a bit more modeled than that, linear process. But I think it generally that those five stages of grief, it works through different kinds of grief that people are experiencing.
Yeah, interesting. I never thought about it that way. Um, so, what would you say are some common misconceptions you've actually noticed around grief in your practice so far?
I think the first one is you can that there should be a deadline to it, like um, especially within the context of, so in my practice I work with people processing the end of a relationship a lot, and there's always that thing of I should have gotten over this person by now, I should snap out of it. My friends are telling me to just go out there, and then you hear the popular saying like the best way to get over somebody is to get under somebody, and it's like the goal is to get over the situation and they give themselves this arbitrary deadline, but there's no deadline to grief. You have to feel your feelings. The idea is to keep functional and to be agile while you're processing these feelings so that it doesn't get, complicated and all of that. But there's no deadline to it. I think that's the most common one. That's I should the shoulds are there. Or what does it say about me if I'm not over this thing yet? What does it say about me? And then that shame now starts showing up. Like, what does it say about me that I'm still into this person, even though they were like horrible, or I'm still into this person, even if they're not even horrible, it's like they said they want to go. So why you still, feeling all of these things for someone that clearly doesn't want to stay? And it's like, nah, it's a lot more complicated than that. It's a lot more complicated than that. Yes.
Wow. Because I think I can really relate to that. Like, feeling like, okay, let's, there's this thing in relationships whereby, um, sometimes we're constantly battling for who cares more, even if we're not saying it verbally, right? There's this thing about like, if you leave, that come on, there are other people out there, or like, I'm just like, I don't know. There's this, sometimes we battle for this unspoken supremacy in relationships. So I think if someone who think they have dominated in that regards, then go to the end of that relationship and then find out like they actually needed the person more than they thought they did in that relationship. I think that's where a situation like that comes in. Like, okay, what does this say about me? This is my hard guy, hard girl status that I've always pride myself on, and the rest of it. It's non-existent.
Exactly. And I think that is also the work of grief there, where it would strip you of your defense mechanisms and allow you to feel your feelings. If you permit yourself to, it would allow you to feel your feelings. Because if you move through a relationship and you say that you're not going to be vulnerable, or if you move through a relationship and you say that you're not going to connect or like build that emotional intimacy, even though somewhere a part of you, like even though you were still there, maybe your attachment style like made you like put up walls, and then the end of the relationship you are feeling all of these big feelings. Grief will help you break through the walls that you've put up and actually like feel your feelings to the point that you may actually learn and become a more present person in the next relationship, because you now know the impact of not feeling. You now know the impact of shutting down. You know that it didn't help you in the past, and at the end of the day, all of those feelings that you're trying to avoid, you would meet them in the future. So like that is the work of grief there.